Welcome back to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast, sponsored by Donahue Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services. A leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio, our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-528-3982 or visit online at donahueaccountingservice.com. I'm your host, Alex Meacham, former Bearcat basketball player from 1997 to 1999, under the Hall of Fame coach, my guy, Bob Huggins.
And I'm Neil Meyer of the Front Office News.
I'm JT Smith, editor-in-chief of the Front Office News.
All right, fellas, we are back for another episode. I know you guys are ready. Let's jump right into it. The Bearcats are currently 15-12, 4 games in a row, beating Kansas 84-68. Man, I tell you what, after that Kansas game, I thought right away, I can't wait for this podcast. JT,
Same.
Thoughts on the Bearcats' performance?
Same, man. Masterful performance, man. You go in the Fog Allen Fieldhouse, beat Kansas, the worst victory first loss they received, and I can't even remember how long it's been, against an unranked team. Amazing, man. Mustafa Cham. I had him as my person if they were going to pull off the upset, had to play, because he had the toughest matchup. With Darren Peterson, but he was the toughest per se. But I'm just saying, like, what Flory Badunga is going to do. He's a bruiser. He had to match him, and he did. I mean, when he hit that turnaround left hand hook, I said, "Oh yeah, it's up." I thought, "Oh, it's up."
What about the three?
He hit a three. He was cashing.
Nah, not just 1 3. He hit 2.
Yep, hit the 3, but he got the ball. He didn't. His head saw, "Yeah, it's up." He gonna keep rolling. But I just thought he played masterful. I thought the whole team. Baba was like, he filled up every stat. You know what I mean? Played great. Keyshawn Tillery came off the bench and played great with Jizzle having foul trouble. I thought that's huge, just his growth as a player. And just to be able to play on a road at one of the toughest venues in college basketball, it just shows the type of kid he is, young man he is. Day was timely second half, made some big plays. I just think, Jalen did his thing. I feel like this is just a very good team win, but Mustafa just showed out, man. This is how he played is why people are so hyped to get him from UCF. And if he keeps this rolling, not to jump the gun, man, who knows what happens at the end of the year, but you got to keep this up. I wrote about that on the site, so make sure you guys check that out. But so I won't go too crazy about it, but man, the Bearcats held it down, man. Killed them on the glass. They just went in there and kind of punked them. And I did not see that coming. I know UC isn't a soft team, but man, I didn't see that. If anybody said they saw that coming, I don't believe it. But I'm happy they did, man, because it's giving people a little ray of hope.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. I said this at the beginning of the year. I personally felt of all the players on this Bearcat team, Cham has the biggest upside from a pro standpoint, being that you look at his size, his playing style, very much NBA compatible, and he's so young.
Yeah.
Baba's our best player, and I think he has a chance to play in the league, but this is his last year.
Yeah.
Cham could, mess around and play again next year, get better, like his upside. And in second part to that, JT, I want to say, I think Baba Miller looked at this Kansas game like, I could make some money.
Yeah.
If I play well, I could make some money.
Yep. No, for sure. It definitely did. And you do it on the road. Everybody's watching. So that was on CBS, right?
It was.
CBS. So CBS, you get people that don't have cable, they can watch that game. So some older person just like, hey, this game seems interesting. They just start watching it. You know what I mean? Or some young kids don't really watch TV like how we did back in the day. So I'm going to say it's an older person that probably chimed in. And you're just locked in. You see, who's this 18 kid? And he's doing all this amazing stuff and boom. But, you get paid the NIL. They get some money. They get some good money for sure. But most people's dreams are to go to NBA, and when you have a hell of a game at Kansas, that's going to be stuff that scouts remember. You know, your team's back against the wall. You have all the right to just back down and just say F it, season's over if you want, and nobody's going to be mad. And you come out there and ball out against Kansas. That shows type of person you are.
Yeah, no doubt. Neil, before we get into your thoughts, can you show the listeners what you're drinking? Can you hold that can up? Ladies and gentlemen, Neil is drinking just
Big K Cola.
Big K Cola, the discount cola from Kroger. The clearance rack cola. That might have been sitting on a rack for that's the pandemic like cola that's been sitting on it.
That's the hey, you gotta bring something. You don't really mess with somebody. You be like, fuck it, man. Boy, bring us some Big K. Fuck it.
Big K Cola.
Somebody bring you some Big K. They don't. I mean, family buy is cool, but somebody bring some Big K. They don't rock with you. Just remember that, Neil. Remember that. Mark a note on that. Like if it's a friend that comes over and like, Neil, look what I got. They don't fuck with you, man. And remember that, because that's some shit that you don't take them out to get drinks and shit, because they're not gonna buy you a round of drinks. They're not gonna do nothing. They not do nothing.
Hey, Neil, you know we're just messing with you.
Oh, I know it.
No, that's what's up though.
All right, we'll let you slide on that one. Thoughts on the Bearcats' performance?
Yeah, well, before I give my thoughts, I think for those who listened to the podcast last time, I made a really bad deal that said if the Bearcats beat Kansas, the sports glasses would make an appearance.
Oh, that's
right. You did.
Oh,
I forgot all about it.
So they're back, baby. They're back. And, man, these are very hard to see out of right now because, I got contacts in. But
Neil, do you know who Kurt Rambis is?
no.
Oh.
But I'm looking at the camera right now, and I can see, like, how hideous I look right now in these. And the fact that I wore these in public was
Oh shit!
You hooped
just not it.
You hooped in those, Neil?
Hey, nobody's picking you up, bro. Everybody's like, "Hey, don't pick the guy over there with the Big K Cola and the red specs."
Oh shit!
Hey,
Oh man!
Hey,
wow.
look, a bet's a bet. Bearcats got the big dub.
That's true. I forgot.
about
I'm a man of my word around here.
You are. I respect that, Neil.
You did, man.
You was going a little bit higher because you honoring that bet. Yep.
Yeah.
But going into this game, Bill Self was 344-22 all time at Allen Fieldhouse.
What? Wait, I didn't even know that. Say that again.
344-22 all time at Allen Fieldhouse.
Wow.
Cincinnati walked in and gave them belt to ass, basically, them from start to finish in every facet of this game. And when you look down, Mustafa Cham, incredible. But you know what really allowed Mustafa Cham to get going in this game? Baba Miller. Baba Miller set the tone early. I think he had, 8 of the first 13? That allowed Mustafa to play off of him in the front court a little bit, and Kansas's depth wasn't able to withstand 2 big 7-footers from Mustafa Cham, Baba Miller. Wes Miller and the staff did a great job playing through those guys and utilizing their strengths to advantage. And, hey, Mustafa Cham, just 28 points on his birthday. I mean, get a big win in Allen Fieldhouse on his birthday. I mean, people forget. I think Mustafa's only 19. So your 19th birthday, putting up 30 essentially in Allen Fieldhouse is pretty nice if you ask me. That's a nice little birthday gift. But loved what I saw from those two in Mustafa Cham and Baba Miller. And then third, most importantly, Keyshawn Tillery. What about him playing the final 17 minutes of this game? Lockdown defender, was there when Cincinnati needed it. We've mentioned it all season. The confidence is starting to grow for Keyshawn. And to come in and say, hey, I have this big opportunity with foul trouble looming. Sincere was in foul trouble. Jizzle was in foul trouble. Day was in foul trouble at one point. Keyshawn came in there and just said, hey, I'll give you everything I have. And I believe there was one turnover he made with like the 15-minute mark in the second half. And he looked to Wes Miller apparently and said, don't take me out. Keep me in here.
Yeah,
and
you're right. That's right.
Wes Miller kept him in there for the final 17 minutes of the game.
Yep.
Didn't play Jizzle James the final 13 after he picked up the foul. Says a lot about the kind of player that Keyshawn Tillery is developing and turning to be for Cincinnati. But a big-time win for Wes Miller and this staff, and it was great to see them kind of reap the benefits. But that's it. That's a win where we all talked about it, where you could turn this season around and ride a 4-game win streak. And, I mean, when you look down at this game, too, Cincinnati won the rebounding margin by 11 in this game, but was favored to lose by 11 points heading into this one. That was the difference maker in this game, was their ability to rebound the basketball and put the ball in the hole within the front court. I think they had, 46 between Mustafa and Baba Miller? If you can get that kind of performance from those two down the stretch here in the next 4 games, this is a team that could find their way to make an NCAA tournament run.
Neil, that was the best little take segment you've ever had, and I think it's because of the glasses. Honestly,
I'm seeing 2 of you right now, Alex, because of these glasses.
I think that you should pull up to put them back on. You should pull up to the press conferences with those on. See how that goes. What do you think?
Hey, JT, if they beat Texas Tech tomorrow, how about you wear these to the game on Saturday?
I'm not wearing them.
Neil, you wear them. If they beat Texas Tech, you need to wear those for the press conference. Bet?
Maybe. Put me on the spot right here.
Take another sip of that Big K Cola. This is the Bearcat Game Recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. Hey, I'm just going to throw you guys, Neil, you knocked it out of the park. JT, you as well. You guys said a lot of things that I would say. I'm just going to say 2 things, and I think I put this in our group text. People were shocked by the win, by UC beating Kansas. Like, I think everybody was shocked. But there's one thing that I truly think is happening with this basketball team with 4 in a row. They're getting healthier, and flat out, we're just making shots that we've missed in the past. Yeah. Like Chom, honestly, if that Kansas game was at home in Cincinnati, Chom probably wouldn't have taken those threes because the crowd would have been like, no, he would have passed it. You know what I mean? Like, he's on the road. Forget it. I'm firing it up. I think they made – listen, I think they took some better shots.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's part of it. And then they made shots. And I'm going to give – West deserves a lot of credit for that game, man. He coached a really good game.
True. Very true.
So as much criticism as he gets, he needs credit for that game, the 4-game winning streak, and props to our kids, to our players for just not folding. We talked about this before. The Kansas State kids folded. They quit.
Yeah.
Our kids have not quit, man. And that says a lot. So going into this Texas Tech game, hopefully, we can win it. We're going to talk about it a little bit. And then when we turn around and come home, Oklahoma State, right? Oklahoma State?
Yep.
Man, I think that's a Saturday game. Is that right around?
Yep, this Saturday.
Yeah. It better be rocking, man. 2:00. Let's get right. Is that right? I'm guessing.
Yep.
Okay.
2:00.
It better be rocking, man. These kids in West definitely deserve it. This is the Bearcat Game Recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. Purple Monkey Project was formed following the tragic loss of 10-year-old Reagan Vanasse in May of 2021. Reagan was a ray of sunshine who lit up every room. The Purple Monkey Project is named after Reagan's favorite stuffed animal and seeks to keep Reagan's spirit alive by being a ray of light in the community and promoting random acts of kindness. By providing scholarships and other financial support of youth and youth-centered charities in Southwest Ohio, the Purple Monkey Project seeks to pay it forward, all in the name of Reagan. To learn more about the Purple Monkey Project, please visit purplemonkeyproject.org or visit them on Facebook at Purple Monkey Project. Now, this Tuesday at 7 p.m., the Bearcats take on Texas Tech. Now, you're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahoe Accounting Services. Let's jump right into the Big O segment, sponsored by Oakley Greens. In this segment, we cover players to watch and key matchups. JT is usually spot on, so we're going to start with you.
I know, man. Pressure, man. But
pressure's on.
I know got Mustafa right last game. I'm going with Jizzle James, man. He didn't have the best game because of foul trouble. But, I think he comes home. Oh, no, they're on the road. I think he's going to learn from that and just play well. And I think he'll, play well, honestly, because I don't want to take any thunder away from you, Meach, but Tillery on the bench, right? When you see somebody else play well, you can afford to take chances. Like, I know this guy's got my back, so you can go all out and not really worry. So I think he's going to make a tone for how he played at Kansas, probably not getting as much foul trouble, and then do his thing, man.
Well, let me pose this question to you. So if Jizzle plays, okay, so this Texas Tech game, Jizzle doesn't play as well, Keyshawn plays well, what do you do moving forward?
That's a good question, man. I think you still let Jizzle start.
I agree.
But then if, he's struggling, you put in Keyshawn. You know what I mean? I feel like you have that luxury now where if Day-Day's struggling a little bit, put in Keyshawn, I just feel like he can give those guys a rest. No, just to occur. I just feel like right where Keyshawn is right now, he's giving them a better all-around package of what West can do. He's allowing West to be able to do some different things because he can get to the rack too. So, and he's playing very good defense. He's a freshman, so he's going to have freshman mistakes at times, but I just feel like he's just playing on part of how they want to play.
And I agree with you. So one thing I would look at if I was the coach, I would continue to start Jizzle because I think, you want to have this consistency going. And if Jizzle struggles a little bit, just insert Key right away.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Just insert him, earlier, right away. Let him get his minutes. I think he right now is good off the bench. He feels comfortable off the bench. I don't think you always have to start to be an effective player. We've seen that before. Back in the day, Tony Bobbitt, maybe the best sixth man in UC history.
True.
You know what I mean? But he asked to come off the bench. He said, "Don't start me, Hugs. This is what I like to do."
Yeah.
So I do agree with you, Neil. Let's talk a little bit about Texas Tech. Players to watch.
Yeah, so when you look down at this Texas Tech team, obviously before the injury to JT Toppin, who suffered a season-ending torn ACL, before the injury to JT Toppin, this was a Texas Tech team that had 4 wins over top 10 opponents. Essentially, they had wins over Arizona, Houston, Duke as well. So this was a team, I'm trying to remember the fourth, but this is a team that has just the fourth was Arizona, actually. So this is a team that has just dismantled a lot of the most talented teams in college basketball, and the only team in the country with 4 wins over top 10 opponents. But this team looks completely different now with JT Toppin out for an injury. Obviously, when you look down at Texas Tech, JT Toppin would have been a first-team All-American this year, averaging 22 points a game, averaging 11 rebounds, like a legit double-double threat night in and night out for Texas Tech. But goes down with the injury, and for Texas Tech now, you saw it in their matchup versus Kansas State over the weekend. They had big-time performances from guards Christian Anderson and Donovan Atwell. That's what Cincinnati's going to have to contain on Tuesday night down in Lubbock. 2 elite scorers who can score in volume. Donovan Atwell. We talked about Milan Momcilovic from Iowa State, who went on to have an elite shooting clinic versus Cincinnati, where I think he finished with, 30 points in the second half in Cincinnati's win over Iowa State. Donovan Atwell is that same kind of caliber shooter for Texas Tech that can come in, score in volume, and can knock some big-time shots. Shooting 40% or 48% from 3. You're not going to find many shooters like that in college basketball right now. So those are going to be the 2 guys who really take the bull by the storm in this game.
The bull by the storm?
Bull by the horn, you know what I mean. But
that's a new one right there.
But I think if Cincinnati is able to withstand and play like they did on Saturday and really establish some things on the offensive end, this could be a game where Cincinnati makes it 5 straight, exploits Texas Tech, and this could be a statement win. I mean, it's a big quad 1 opportunity, but the things are trending in the right direction for Cincinnati on paper when you look at this matchup now without Jacob Toppin.
The Big O segment is sponsored by Oakley Greens. My pick, Keyshawn Tillery. He's playing really, really well right now. I love him coming off the bench and providing a spark, energy, his speed. I mean, he's like a remote control car on the court. I mean, he's so hard to stay in front of. He just changes this team. And I want to go back. I don't remember how many post game. No, it wasn't even a post game. It was one of those. What do they call those when he does? Wes does like a
post game radio.
No, he does a press conference like during the week, right?
Oh, the radio show.
Not the radio show, but then he do like a.
Oh, like a week sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sometimes every once in a while, yeah.
Yep, he was doing those. It was like, way back, and he was like praising Keyshawn, like this kid is going to be a really good player for us, and he's been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see that.
Yep.
So I'm really excited to see, what he can do not only in the future, hopefully it was with the Bearcats, but specifically against Texas Tech. The Big O segment is sponsored by Oakley Greens. Oakley Greens, ultimate spot to catch your hometown team in every big game. With 6 giant LED screens and TVs at every angle, it's more than a sports bar. It's your entertainment headquarters. All the sports, all the time, all at Oakley Greens. Located in Oakley Station next to the cinemas. You check them out, oakleygreens.com. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Neil, I need you to put on the goggles real quick. Please.
I got you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the segment that is sweeping the nation. It is the Name Game with Neil Meyer. Hey.
I want to tell you guys that these are literally, last time I worn these was probably freshman year of high school, maybe a little after.
Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Because them things are woo-wee. All right, you know what? You can take them off because I know you've got to read the names on here, and I don't want you to get discombobulated, okay?
That's right.
All right, so the Name Game with Neil Meyer. Here's what we got going on. So anytime the Bearcats play a team, we look at the roster. So in this case, it's Texas Tech. We will look at the Texas Tech roster, and we'll find names that are sometimes just crazy, different, might spark good conversation. So for those that have listened to this podcast for a long time, thank you for listening. For those that are new, buckle up. It's the Name Game with Neil Meyer. All right, Neil, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's start off. The first person we're going to start with, I just love his first name. Number 2.
Number 2 is Jazz Henderson.
So I would name my son Jazz. Like, I think that's a pretty dope name. I like that. And I believe he's from the same area as Bearcat great Kenyon Martin.
Yeah, Dallas.
See, look below. Oak Cliff.
Yeah, Oak Cliff, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big Ken's area. Jazz Henderson. I like that name. All right. Next one. Number 9.
Number 9 is Luke Bamgoboy.
Try it again, Neil.
Luke Bamboig.
I think you moved the G.
The G might be silent.
Yeah, but you added it to the end. You
Luke Bamboy.
Bang Boy. I think I hate to say
Boy.
I think it might be Bang Boy. Bang. I hate. Is that illegal? Am I allowed to say that? Pause the last name. Pause the last name.
Yeah.
They need to have parentheses.
parentheses.
This is where we need the ear, but they don't got the ear on the website.
Well, yeah, they definitely
they need that one for a dude's name because the G could not be silent, but it might be. Move it. Move it silent like lasagna.
Nothing like Lil Wayne reference here. Yeah. Let's go to number 13.
Number 13 is Mario Akuntak.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, bad. I'm not going to argue that one.
Ain't bad. Where's he from? Edmonton? Okay, he's from Canada. Okay, I didn't expect that one. Okay. Yeah. You know what? We're actually done with the players, but let's jump into these coaches, man. Let's go to the second assistant. The first assistant after the head coach.
Achoki Moikobu.
Dang.
Say it one more time.
Achoki Moikobu.
Where's homie from?
Let's check. Full bio.
Go to full bio. Click on it.
Let's see.
From Seattle, Washington.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. All right, homie. Okay. Now I'm not going to make you say this name, but it's somebody I know. It's an assistant coach on the team, Rem Bakamus. So I know Rem.
Rem.
Yep, Rem. So I know Rem. He was at Arizona last year. Okay. I know Rem. He played for Gonzaga. And I've known him, gosh, how long have I known him? I've known him for a long time. We have some mutual friends, and he was a walk-on for Gonzaga. So I got to meet him a long time ago. Really, really neat dude, man. Really good guy. Loves basketball. He's working his way up the coaching tree. So he's been to a lot of schools, but he definitely is a hardworking young man. So shout out my guy, Rem Bakamus. I need to shoot him a text and tell him, don't beat us. All right. Scroll down, Neil. Let's go down to support staff, okay?
Sounds good.
I want you to say the person after Brian Pete. I just think this is an interesting name.
Duncan Bacon.
Duncan Bacon. What do you think about that, JT?
Duncan Bacon.
Duncan Bacon.
Duncan Bacon.
Man.
D-Bake.
D-Bake.
Yeah.
That's just an interesting name, I think.
Yeah, Duncan Bacon. Kind of don't go.
It doesn't sound like, yeah.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When your last name is Bacon, your choices are limited, you know?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
You know, let's roll with Duncan.
Like Dave Bacon or something. That would have been a good one.
Something. All right, Neil, go to I don't even know what this means, but go to the creative manager.
The creative manager is Chris Marmolejo.
What'd you say about my mama? What'd you say about Marmolejo?
Marmolejo.
What is a creative manager for a basketball team?
He's the guy that does all the social media and the videography and stuff.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, like Ethan Harrison is Cincinnati's creative manager per se.
Oh, so it's on the officially on our site is creative manager.
I think Ethan's is associate athletic director of creative, digital and creative.
Look at you.
That's my boy. Ethan does a great job.
Oh yeah, they do it. I tell you what, UC I think does a really, really good job with all their stuff, man, related to that.
Hey, that video they posted today of the Kansas highlights for them capturing Day-Day's response after hitting that dagger 3 where he looked, he said, "No, that was a good shot."
What did he low key say?
Did you watch the clip at all or no?
I haven't seen it yet.
I sent the picture of it in the group chat. This one here.
I saw the picture. Yeah, I saw the picture. I thought you said he said something in the video.
No, so Day-Day hit the 3 that forced the timeout, and then he went into timeout, and he looked right at the camera and he gave him like, yeah, this is me giving you a personal look here. Like y'all talk that trash, I'm backing it up.
All right. Okay, Neil.
He took
Well,
that
hey,
personal.
I think we might have had more coaches than players in the name game
I think we did this one.
The first time. We're making history tonight, baby.
History. A lot of history.
History. All right. Let's jump into the Kenyon segment. This is where we cover keys to the game. JT.
Yeah, man. All right. So they got to dominate rebounding. They dominated against Kansas. JT Toppin being out, they got to take advantage of this. If they don't take advantage of this, then they will lose. If they do, they will have a chance. They have a hell of a crowd. Most Big 12 teams do. So yeah, rebounding the ball, give them one shot and out, and that will go a long way for the Bearcats for sure.
Dominate rebounding. That's something Hugs would always say. So, Neil.
Yeah, for me, my keys to the game here in this one is obviously you saw how impactful it was on Saturday when Cincinnati ran their offense through Mustafa Cham and Baba Miller. In this matchup, obviously with JT Toppin being hurt, this is a matchup that plays into Cincinnati's favor in many different ways, but it starts with those two guys. I think in order for them to win, in my keys to the game, take care of the basketball is number one. JT mentions rebounding. They're going to have to do that. But for me, they have to run their offense through Baba Miller and Mustafa Cham. We saw how effective it was on Saturday in the win over Kansas. They have a chance to do that again here on Tuesday night and get arguably an even bigger win with Texas Tech's resume right now. That it could be a very big win if Cincinnati is able to play through Mustafa Cham, Baba Miller, take advantage there in the front court, right? If they do that, this could be a game that Cincinnati wins. But if those two have an off night, it's going to be really difficult for Cincinnati. So they got to play through those two in the front court. That'll allow a lot of different things to open up on the offensive end and hopefully leads to a Cincinnati victory.
So I'm just going to say this. I think Texas Tech is for sure not going to sleep on the Bearcats. Like, they are going to come ready to play. So my concern is, will the Bearcats match that intensity at the start of the game, right? So I guarantee you Texas Tech's entire coaching staff is telling these players, this team's one of the hottest teams in the country right now. Won 4 in a row at Kansas, beat Iowa State. They could come in here and beat you. Like, don't think for a second you're going to cruise past it. We'll have the crowd screaming. You're going to make sure. No, you've got to execute. So with that being said, UC is going to have to match that intensity from the beginning. So I always talk about this. In basketball, teams make runs, and you've got to stop runs. You can't let them have 2 to 3 runs early. You can't let the good teams like this.
Yeah.
And if we can match that intensity at the start, do what we did, just like bits and pieces of that Kansas game, man, we win this game. If we win this game, fellas, I mean, what's the conversation now amongst Bearcat fans? It's like we went from obviously fire West, fire Cunningham, fire everybody, fire the people at the concession stand, to this is one of the hottest teams in the country right now. If we can win this Texas Tech, get his perspective. Let's welcome in loyal listener, huge fan, Jon White. Welcome in, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is, as we were talking backstage, you guys have made my week here, inviting me onto the pod. As I've said a couple times now, I've been a loyal listener. I've been rocking with JT since, for a minute. I've been watching Neil's career progress, and as I was telling you, Alex, I watched you play back in the heyday.
Yeah, sure.
So this is very exciting. We're making history, the inaugural loyal listener fan segment. So
I love it. I love it. Hey, let's jump in a little bit of history. You're from Cincinnati?
I am. I grew up in Fairfield, so I went to Fairfield High School.
Okay.
I was born in the '80s, so my formative years were the '90s. And as you guys have brought up many times on the show, back in the '90s, the Bearcats were basically the third pro team in Cincinnati, and they were always I actually grew up in a Buckeye family, but I always gravitated towards the Bearcats. And that whole Bob Huggins era was really it just made UC basketball my first love, as a lot of I'm sure your listeners have the same background with that. So it was it's been a lot of up and downs with the Cats, and I think looks like we're on an uphill swing here the last couple weeks. So we'll see if we can stay hot going into March.
Yeah, and we'll get into this season here shortly, but going back in the '90s, was there a specific game or just like some fan moment that just you're like, the Bearcats are my team?
I was actually I had a feeling you were going to ask me that question, so I was actually thinking about it. I was a little too young to remember the '92 Final Four team. I mean, I remember the names, like Nicky. He was called Nicky Van Exel back then. Curtis Bostic, Terry Nelson, Corey Blunt. I mean, I remember the names, and I was trying to think. The very first time I remember watching a Bearcat basketball game, I couldn't tell you who they were playing. I couldn't quite tell you what the year. It had to be like the 94, maybe 93, 94 season. And I remember Lizelle Durden hitting a shot to win the game. And I was very young, and I just remember me and my buddy, we were young and just ran out the house like screaming around the block, just acting like a kid. So I was hooked ever since then. One of the big games that I remember just being so heartbroken over, and we had a lot of those in March, especially in the '90s, was the Danny Fortson sophomore year, where we lost. It was a great team, where they lost to Mississippi State in the Elite Eight.
I was there. It was at UK. It was at Rupp Arena.
Yeah, versus Eric Dampier, and I just remember like, man, Mississippi State. Who's Mississippi State? Because back then UC was just always in the top 10. It was like it felt like we were a true blue blood program. And it kind of took me when Hugs when he got fired, and then we brought in Mick. I just remember thinking, I was like, man, we're good. We're Cincinnati. We're always going to be top 10. I was like, we're a blue blood. And then it took Mick about 6 years, and I was like, maybe we're not quite Kansas or UK, but no, Cincinnati basketball. It's always been my first love, and it still pretty much is.
Yeah, and last part of my question, and I'll pass to JT, is do you have any like Bearcat basketball memorabilia that you're like, this is gold to me?
God, I used to have nothing crazy, but I got this little. This is from the Big East. It's like a little bobblehead.
Yep.
I used to have. God, I had something from Hugs In. You remember Hugs In?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
I had like a T-shirt or something, but that's kind of got lost through time. But no, I'm not a big memorabilia collector. Just just the memories. I try to, on YouTube, you can go down some rabbit holes and find a lot of the old games. So I try to keep a playlist, and sometimes I'll just go back and watch those games from like the 90s. And back then those games were on Fox 19.
Yeah,
it was just like a local channel, and it just felt like the pro team was playing. And Meach, I was heading into this interview, I remember. Do you remember doing a interview with like Dan Horde where they like kind of did like a spotlight on you?
Yeah, I do.
I remember that.
Yep.
And I was trying to find it on YouTube. I couldn't find it. So if you got that,
I think I have it on VHS. So I have a that shows how old VHS. Neil, do you know what VHS is, Neil?
I know what VHS is.
John, you have to check with Neil because Neil.
You never know, man.
You never know.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of those games look like they're worse that are uploaded on YouTube. Look worse than. So.
They do though. They really do.
I have a tub, like one of those plastic tubs you get at like Staples or Walmart or something, and I just have every game that I played in, like every game, because like you said, John, it was on Fox 19.
Yeah.
And I think, and Hugs and I talked about this one day. I really believe that not only did we have good teams, but it was so easy for people to watch games and fall in love with the Bearcats, right? It's like everybody had 19. It's not like, all the streaming services, not everybody has that. Not everyone sits around like they did back in the day. So the timing was perfect, John.
I can't even watch the Reds anymore just because I refuse to buy another streaming service. Like I'm tapped out.
I'm so with you.
I feel you on that, man. It's tough.
I mean, matter of fact, the three. So I've missed 3 games this year, and they ended up being all 3 of the best games of the year. I wasn't able to watch the Kansas game on Saturday. I watched all the highlights on.
Yeah.
But the UCF blowout and the Kansas State blowout was on CBS Sports.
Yep.
And I'm not buying another streaming service. I ain't doing it. So, it's I'm tapped out.
I'm with you. I'm with JT. I'll let you.
Cool, yeah, John, man, appreciate you working with me, man. For a while, you used to tap in on the live shows when I did them on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get is it Sellers, Dan Sellers?
Yeah.
You got to get him back on for a stream.
I know, man. I do, man. He was just talking about that probably a month ago. So I'm gonna do that, man. I just gotta stop procrastinating.
He's funny. I can tell he was. Did he grow up in Cincinnati?
Yeah, he grew up in Cincinnati. He played for Cincinnati, so he's like through and through.
Because he's always I can tell his worldview was back when like Princeton and Moeller were like the dominant.
Yeah.
High school football power. I mean, they're both still good, but back then they were the
spot, right? No, 100%. So like my question for you, man, is what's your favorite like segment of the pod, or like what's your favorite thing about the pod, man? So I know you always giving us feedback, man. I just wanna tap into that.
Well, let me just I'm gonna the name game's hilarious. but let me the first pod of this season, I was like, maybe Neil's not pronouncing all these names right because the very first name game on the first pod of this season, you were calling him Mustafa Thiem. And I was like, now even I know it's Chom. So I don't know if Neil is giving us the correct pronunciation on all these.
We got to check up on it. Neil's been drinking wine a lot lately.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
I do love the Big Brother energy you guys give Neil. sometimes I'll be listening to the pod when I'm at the gym working out, and I'll be mid set and some damn near weight falls on me because I'm laughing. The way you guys are teasing Neil. So, but I love when you guys do. Hot topics is always kind of fun just because it's something different every week. But I like when you guys pick your the players of the week or players who you think needs to step up.
Yep.
That always gives good insight. I think you guys usually always kind of have a different response, so it's interesting to see. I think it's time for. I'll go ahead and pick mine for Tuesday. I think Jizzle needs to reemerge.
Oh man, so hey, I like it.
I think he needs to reemerge. I saw somewhere on Twitter that UC, since Jizzle has come back, they've been like top 30 in the net.
I can believe it.
I don't, if you've watched Jizzle, I don't think it's anything super specific to what he does day in and day out. But it just, that's just kind of an interesting anecdote. I also noticed it seems like Wes is he's narrowing the rotation a little bit, and that seems to have given them the spark. It would have been interesting to see the season with Big Slime. I actually have not. I don't even know anything about his game, but I know he's a big body, and I feel like that's what we've been kind of missing in the paint is the big body. So Thiem. So Chom can do his kind of finesse work, and we could have had that big body down there to do the work in the paint. But we'll see, man. I hope they've turned a corner here and make it interesting.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And John, JT, real quick, John, you picked Jizzle, JT picked Jizzle, and of the three of us, JT, Neil, and myself, whenever we pick players, the person that usually is correct is JT. So he's right more than Neil and I are. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I'd agree with that.
That's why everybody go check out the front office news. JT's on point.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Well, thanks, man. Well, Neil, go ahead and don't drop any weights on yourself, man, when you're at the gym. Man. I'm happy you laughing at what we're doing. That's the part of the pod. But don't hurt yourself, man. I feel bad. Like it'll be kind of funny.
Real quick, I'll give you the time. I know the exact segment on the pod where I did almost drop weights on me, and you guys are gonna remember it well. And JT, you were the butt of the joke. It was when you were pulling up to class looking like the Saint Lunatics.
Didn't I send you a picture?
I literally was mid-set and just about dropped the weight on.
That's hilarious. Did I send y'all the pic?
I think you did.
You did. You had to. Yeah. That was hilarious. You know what? No, that's great. I wish I would have cropped that into the promo pic.
Oh man, we were slipping. That's before we were point, man.
But John, we started. We started talking about Neil's dad's mustache for a little bit too. His dad's mustache is.
Yeah, it's next level, man.
Has the picture been dispersed on the pod, or is that just kind of been kept internal?
I posted the pic on one of the promo.
The pic's out there. I think
it's on the streets. It's hot.
It's in circulation for sure.
Okay, well, I'll have Neil. Maybe you need to buff out that mustache.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
This is the longest I've had it. The beard, the facial hair.
Yeah, it looks good.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Neil, go ahead. Your turn.
Yep.
Yeah, so John, obviously being a Bearcat through and through, what are some of your favorite memories of going out supporting the Bearcats? Whether that's a favorite basketball game, a favorite football game. What's been some of your favorite memories as a Bearcat faithful here?
Oh man. Well, Well, I can tell you can I tell you that my two worst moments, and then we can. Obviously, everybody's going to agree with the worst one, and the where were you when Kenyon broke his leg?
Oh my God, yeah. Bad day.
You know, it's like everybody remembers where they were for 9/11, the JFK assassination, and when Kenyon Martin broke his leg.
Sure.
God, that one was so hard to get over, because that was the peak, man. That was the peak, the team that was going to do it. And then the other heartbreak, I was so sick to my stomach. The 2017-2018 team that lost to Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
There was a clear path to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were playing like Saint Mary, one of the Saint Heart something, with the Nun.
Yeah.
And that was such a good team too, man. I mean, that was a fun season. I think they only lost four or five games that year. So those are the two worst memories. But some of the best memories, and Meach, I think you were on the team, the Great Alaskan Shootout.
Yep.
I mean, that was phenomenal. In fact, I'll kind of switch it over to football. The when they beat Pittsburgh, Pike to Benz.
Yep.
That was a super memorable moment. So many memories, man. But a lot of heartbreak too, especially in March, man. I was kind of going back and look at some of those rosters from like the '90s, and they just, after that Elite Eight when they lost to Mississippi State, man, there was just always a heartbreak. We haven't been back. I think we made it to the Sweet 16 that one year, versus Stanford. They ran into Casey Jacobson and the Collins twins. I think that wasn't one of our best teams, but yeah, it's it's just it'd be good to get back to to the big dance. Hopefully, we can have some magic here at the end of the season.
Sure. Neil, got anything else?
No, that's it.
Let me ask you this, John. Favorite Bearcat player of all time?
So Kenyon's the default answer. So for the sake of conversation, I'll say someone else, but it's probably true anyway. I always loved Steve Logan. Man, he was so little, but man, he was just I remember when he outscored
Southern Miss.
Southern Miss.
Yeah.
That was back when we were rolling, man. I love Steve Logan, Danny Fortson, Sean Kilpatrick. So many great players.
I got a little funny story about the Southern Miss game. So, first of all, when we traveled to Southern Miss, we stayed in a hotel. It looked like the 1960s in this hotel. Like, I swear, like Martin Luther King was sleeping two things down. Like, it was like old school South. Like, and we're like, this is bad. Then we get to the arena. So the old Southern Miss arena, they had a track that went around the court. So there's this court, there's our bench, and then behind us there's like a running track. It was bizarre. It was like a gap between. So there's the bench, there's a running track, and then there are the stands. And there weren't that many people. It wasn't like it was, packed out. But I remember sitting there watching. It was just one of those. Steve Logan was his best. This is a fact. Steve would tell you this. When he was just like in a bad mood. He was in a bad mood that day. He was taking it out and he had I don't know what was wrong with him that day. Just being like just angry that day. And man, Southern Miss, man.
Was that the year after Kenyon?
No, it was before. You mean when Kenyon broke his leg?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was before Kenyon had broke his leg. It was.
Oh, so Kenyon was still on the team. Okay.
Yeah, Kenyon was there. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it all kind of blends together.
I know it does. It sometimes for me it does as well. Yeah, but man, I tell you, Jon, first of all, again, thanks for being a loyal listener. Thanks for being a Bearcat fan. Many ups and downs. You amongst, I think there are a lot of Bearcat fans that stay positive and kind of understand the big picture with, sports and athletics. There's just going to be these ebbs and flows of good and bad. And some, it's just like the stock market. You got to stay the course, right?
Yeah. And, like I said, when Hugs first left, and God, I'd love to talk about. I know you guys talked about it a couple weeks ago. I don't want to keep talking, but that we were gonna bring in OJ Mayo and them boys.
Oh man,
that makes it hurt worse. But I literally thought when Cronin came in, we were just the good times. We're just gonna keep rolling, and it was kind of, Cronin rebuilt it and he had a real culture
for sure
about him, and I think that's kind of what Wes has been missing, is that culture. I don't know if he knows what he wants the team to look and feel like, but maybe after that West Virginia meltdown, maybe all the bad's over with, and we're due. But before I go, Meach, since I have an opportunity to actually speak with you, I wanted to say, during COVID, when you were doing the show, this was before JT and Neil were on.
Yeah. My interviews? Mm-hmm.
Yes. If you could bring those back, man. Hey, seriously, those help. That was a seminal memory of the COVID era for me, was when you had those old Bearcat player interviews, and you were really pulling them out the bag too. I mean, I think you had Satterfield, you had like Ryan Fletcher, and I don't know. You didn't have Kenyon, did you?
So here's the funny thing. So okay, let me. I'm going to address that, but I want to take it back. So when COVID happened, it was actually a friend of mine, Chad Turner. We went to high school together. He might not even remember this, but he's the one that kind of sparked the idea, because it's like, what are we like? No one's doing anything, and I'm like, I was thinking to myself, like, because Chad was asking me, like, where's this guy? Where's that guy? What are they doing? And I'm like, you know what? And I know a lot of the guys, I'm like, if I reach out to them and they say they're busy, they're fucking lying, because nobody had anything going on. Like, let me start, reaching out to the guys. So I start, I think Charles Williams was the first, Ryan Fletcher. I just started knocking them out. And then I was like, you know what? I need to start asking people who they want to hear. And so that, people like Art Long, man, I hit up Art. Art came and he drove to me to do it. Yancey Gates. Yancey was like the first person to talk about the actual incident, with Kenny Freeze, and then Steve Sanders. And he said no one had ever asked him about his football career. It's always the shot. And so I'm just like, man, there's something to this. But my goal was to gather all these interviews and really like pass them to the athletic department, because they had never done anything like this. And it's like, here you go. We archived a lot of stuff. You all can take the ball and run with it. And here's something crazy. So I ran into Herb Jones, and I was like, Herb, I want to interview for this podcast. And like Corey and Terry Nelson were like, you got to interview Herb, but he may not do it because Herb doesn't like to talk. So I see him and I'm like, hey, would you do it? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, so I called Corey. I'm like, yeah, he said he'd do it. He's like, oh my God, you got to do it. So no joke. Everyone told me Herb's not going to talk a lot. So you're going to have to like keep asking question. We talked for 2.5 hours. I had to cut it into 2 parts. And Terry and Corey called me. They were like, we can't believe he did this. And you know what happened? He ended up dying shortly after that.
Right.
And so Terry's the one that went, he did that because he knew he was dying.
Wow.
And he wanted to get everything out. And so his wife, like, I think she texted me. No, she DM'd me. And she said she was like crying and like no one had ever interviewed him and got in depth with a lot. There was things she didn't know.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I told Dan Horde, like, here, like, take this and run. Like, you know, he deserves, Dan, if anybody, deserves to be the one to do it. So I had Kenyon set up, Nick Van Exel set up. I had Diego Guevara from he was all set to do it. God, who did I have? I had all kind of like things, but I was like, and the pandemic was kind of over, and I'm like, you see, take it. And then they didn't, and then Dan's now doing, you know, kind of a pseudo, like he sits down with people.
Yeah. I listen to those as well. But no, I don't know why if you could keep doing it, bring them back, because those were outstanding. And the one, Nick Van Exel would be insane if you could get him. And then, man, Danny Forson is just like disappeared from the face of the earth. And he had a real pro career.
Yep.
I mean, before Kenyon, it was Danny, you know.
Yep.
He was a monster.
He and I talked about it, and he didn't want to do it at first. He just liked being low key. But I told him something. I said, Danny, forget about you. Think about your kids. If this will exist forever, and your kids could hear it. And he was like, I was close to, so then I had stopped it, so I didn't continue. But
well, if you could grant me one wish, it would be to bring those back. And if you have a way to like repopulate those episodes, so up in the podcast, that would be. I'd love to go back and listen to them again, because
for sure, that's a good idea. I might have to do a couple of those. Put them. Yep. So, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, listen, John, man, thank you so much for being a loyal listener, coming on, being a Bearcat fan. JT and Neil and I, we really appreciate it, man. So thank you for being a part of the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. You made my week. Go Bearcats.
Go Bearcats.
Appreciate you, John.
You guys.
Yep. All right, John. Thank you, man. Thank you.